I'll share it over here. Go on and drop your questions in the comments if you have any questions at all. I am Miss Jackson. I own 2 tax businesses here in the Dallas area. I've been blessed to have a tax business since 2009. Have 2 offices. I do tax resolutions, individual business taxes. If you have issues with your credit, actually, I'll help you with that. Church compliance. Anybody saw my post yesterday? I was blessed to get my life insurance license, and I can help you with that. Okay, and there's another soapbox I can get on right now, because how many of you guys have life insurance? Okay, if you have life insurance with your job, is it there? Will you have it after you leave there? Okay, think about it. You need life insurance. Okay, that's how wealthy people help leave an estate with some value to it for their children. And why not you? Okay, it's very important to have life insurance for a certain amount of time, and then once you get to that certain amount that time, you won't need life insurance. But if you have small children, something was to happen to you, what will happen to if you have a house, what will happen to the house? They will have to foreclose on it because it's not paid off. No, you have life insurance to cover that. Okay, put some things in place. That's just one thing you need to put in place. Okay, so as you see, Miss Jackson is concerned about the whole man, not just one part. Okay, now back to business. I already mentioned to you, you should have your own business. Okay, I have one person that's interested in starting a tax business, and we're going to go through some quick steps. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard. Now, this individual has been doing taxes for a while, and because they've been doing taxes for their family members, okay? And that's how I started doing taxes. I started doing my own taxes, and I don't think I really did family members. I just did my own. Maybe my children. No, I didn't do them either because, But anyway, the Lord blessed me to, I have an aunt that showed me how to do taxes. And then from them, I just did from the book. That's when you call the IRS and put the pencil to the paper. I was blessed to do that. But then I was blessed to work with a company for at least about 4 years, and actually was a GM with this well-known company here in the Dallas area. So I learned what they knew. Okay, I did not just jump out there and say, hey, I'm gonna do taxes. I learned the product before I said I was going to do my own business. So that's what I encourage you to do. Learn the product if there is a product to be learned. Okay, there are businesses that you can have that you really don't have to learn the product. Okay, just use the services. That's learning the product. Be the product of the product, use the services, and then you can earn income from that also. Okay, so you can actually inbox me for that. I can help you with that if you're interested in learning about some other business opportunities that you're interested in doing. So as I said, tax office, I'm going to give you some quick steps if you're interested in having a tax business. Now I had these questions come through and I can't find the name that actually asked me that, but it was pretty in depth. So I said, well, why not talk about it? Somebody else might be interested in starting up a tax business. So I encourage you to actually learn the product, okay? Because you can do a tax return. You can get on a computer, do a tax return. But then when you do a tax return, if that customer asks you on that tax return, where is this number coming from? You need to know the answer, okay? You need to know the answer, okay? That's servicing your customer. It's not making a dollar. And that's all it is, but that's servicing your customer. Okay. Okay. Now get a pencil and a piece of paper. I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. Okay. So if you want to start a tax office, you will need to first decide what name you want to use. Okay. Now, first, I just mentioned about getting some experience in that area, because I do not advise anybody to just start a tax office with not knowing how to physically do a tax return, pencil to the paper. Okay, learning about taxes, learning. So go, and now two of the major companies is H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt. Okay, now I worked for Jackson Hewitt. I was the GM for Jackson Hewitt. Jackson Hewitt had a pencil to the paper comprehensive class, and where they gave you like 3 books, and you did it on the paper, and then you did it on the computer. That's one thing I advise you to do. Call them people up and ask them, are they giving classes? What is this? This is July. Well, you know you're in the COVID. They usually start classes around August, September. If they're going to do that, they might do everything online. But if you're interested, you can go there. And then another thing, guys, guess what? If you go to irs.gov, they have classes out there for free. So at least do that. At least do that. So I think it's Link and Learn. I think that's what they used to call it. I haven't checked in a while what the name is, but they have systematic step-by-step classes. So if you're interested in really starting a tax business, go out there on irs.gov, and the classes that you're going to look at is going to be the classes that they actually give the people that goes and do free taxes at the libraries. At the libraries during tax season, they actually teach them from that link. I think it's Link and Learn. I think that's what it's called. irs.gov, and put it in the search box. Okay, and you can do classes there. Okay, now this business is a lucrative business, and that's why you see people popping up all the time doing tax offices, and then they get do folks tax return fraudulently, and then they leave. The office is no longer there. Okay, so but you don't, just like you don't want to mess with the IRS on your tax return, you don't want to mess with the IRS about other folks' tax returns either, because you can do some time for real, for real, some time, and pay some money back. And while now, there is one article that came out last year, a couple of years ago, about a lady that got caught doing fraudulent tax returns. And just to let you know how large the penalty can be, she actually did time, federal time, in jail. But then when she get out, she gonna owe the back repo. I don't forget what they call it. Anyway, she got to pay back to the IRS over $11 million. She will never have to do another tax return for herself and get no refund. She will never get another refund. $11 million. And I think the amount that she actually did in fraudulent tax return was probably about $1 million or $2 million. But they tripled that for fraud. Okay, so it's not worth it. So the golden rules: do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Do the right thing, and you'll end up right. Always do the right thing, guys. Always do the right thing. Okay, let me get to this, because I'll be on here too long today. Okay, we're going to talk about, I had a lot of other stuff on here, but anyway, tax office. It's not that hard. Like I said, tax office. Now, this is the tax office, and just imagine how much money tax offices make, okay? Okay, now, when I talk about this tax office, you can say, well, yeah, if you can start a tax office, that cheap, you can start just about any other business the same way. Okay, first thing you want to do, the next thing you want to do is think of a name. Okay, you got to think of your name. Okay, number 2, once you think of your name, you do not want to do tax returns when you're dealing with other people's information. There's a liability. You do not want to do a business as a DBA only under your name. Once you do this as a DBA under your name, that means that you are fully responsible for everything that goes on in that business. If something was to happen in that business and you get sued, They're going to actually come to you, your personal personal home, your personal assets. They're going to sue you for all of that. So you want to go to pay that extra money. I know here in Texas it's $300. You do want to at least do the LLC right now. Okay, do the LLC. Let me stop right there. If you're doing a business, period, whether it is a sole proprietorship, whether it is a LLC, you always want to keep the business money separate from your personal money straight off the bat. If you are unable to do that, you need to start with training yourself, keeping stuff separate first. Just do a savings account and a regular account without a business at all. Just pay your bills, do all your personal business out of that savings account, and then have your checking account so you can get yourself trained of not commingling. Okay, commingling can mess you up down the road. It can mess you up, so you need to train your mind. And so you do want to. So you do want to do the LLC for a liability purpose. So that's $300 at the Secretary of State. So you're going to do $300 to actually do the formation, and then you're going to do $25 for your assumed name. Okay, so you do want to register your assumed name. So you can do both of those with Secretary of State. Okay, now I'm going to go on and tell you some of my secrets. Okay, because that's what I'm here for, to help you. You can do all of this through the Secretary of State if you create an account through Secretary of State. And no matter where you at, I know in Texas you can do it. It's called SOS Direct. SOS Direct. You create an electronic account through them. Make sure you do everything correct. And make sure all of your information is in there correct. Okay. Once you do that, you can form your business within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Now, if you do all of this by mail, it's going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Okay. But start your account with Secretary of State. It's called SOS Direct. With Texas, in Texas, it's called SOS Direct. Okay. You can form your business within 48 hours. Now, I'm giving you some other tips within this tip on starting a business. If you just caught that, you can start a business in forming simple businesses. Okay? Hello. Now, y'all keep up with Miss Jackson, because I'm dropping you some nuggets. Okay? All right, let's get back to the tax return. You want to do your LLC through the Secretary of State. You want to pay the $25. So now you're at $25 in starting your business. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to immediately do after you set up your business, you want to do an EIN number. You can do that for free too. There's another hint. You just want to do EINs for individuals. Start your business. That's where you want to stay. You can stay right there. Charge them $25, $35 just to create that EIN, even though it's free, but they don't know how to do it. And you are versed enough in knowing how to do it, filling out that form. I think we done talked about 3 businesses right here. Start your business, be your boss, and mind your own business, because it's easy to do. Okay, now, so you got your name, you done formed your business, you got your EIN number. Now you can take all of that information to the bank. Open up a business account. When you go to the bank, they're going to ask you for your formation. Articles of incorporation is your formation. They used to call it article of incorporation a long time ago, but formation of your business is what they call it now, and it's just a couple of sheets. But once you do what you need to do as Secretary of State, it's going to generate those sheets for you. That's what you're going to need to take to the bank along with your EIN number. When you actually go into the IRS website, you can actually set up your EIN number online. Okay, make sure you fill that out correctly, because if you fill it out incorrectly, you're going to end up with some issues down the road. Okay, so make sure you read the instructions for the EIN before you actually do it. Make sure you take your time. Okay, Also, right there where I'm at that point, unless you have other partners and you started a business with a lot of money and you're able to pay people out of your pocket, out of the funds, not out of your pocket, out of the business funds, you will want to say you're going to have employees. But when you do the EIN number, say you do not have any employees right now because they're going to want you to file some reports that you don't even know how to file yet. Okay. And you can go and start, if you choose to have employees down the road, you just have employees, and then you just probably call somebody, inbox me, and maybe that'll be another session. I'll tell you how to start paying yourself on a W-2, but there's some other stuff come with that too. You do not want to pay yourself. If you're a single member LLC, you do not want to pay yourself. Okay. If you're a partnership, you do not want to pay yourself because you're going to be double taxing yourself. The only time that you want to pay yourself, you want to change that LLC to a S Corp. I can show you how to do that. There's just a one form that you have to fill out with the IRS. Did I just hear another little business in there? People that owns LLCs or corporations and want to change it to single. Well, you have a lot of single member LLCs and they want to change to S Corp. It's one form, guys. One form that you have to fill out with the IRS. Pay attention to the form when you fill it out. Fax it to the IRS. They'll send them a letter and say, hey, you have been reclassified as a S Corp. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Did I just give you 4 ways to have a business here? I'm telling you guys, this is the time to have a business. Okay. You have no reason not to have one. Okay. Anyway, let me keep going. Okay. Now you can do tax returns out of your own home if you choose to. Okay. If you choose to, but I advise you not to, because I deal with people. When I deal with them, I say, hey, we want to set you up to a point where when you get ready to get business credit, you'll be set. Okay. So business credit is looking for an actual building that you're doing business out of and a physical landline. Do not use your cell phone if you're unable to. Don't have to. Okay. Don't do that. If you're able to attach it to a landline and a business building, you're setting yourself up to receive business credit. That's something you don't have to go back and redo. Okay. Another way you can do that without actually going to a building. Now you're thinking, hey, that's a lot of money. Rent is a lot of money. Baby, Miss Jackson do not have a storefront. Miss Jackson have an executive office. Okay. Now, I want you to research and how much room do you need for a desk and a laptop? You just started out, or maybe 2 desks and 2 laptops. Sound like $100, $200 a month to me. How much is your tax returns going to be? How many tax returns you have to do to cover that? Okay, so. All right, let me keep going. Now, the next important thing that you need to do is IRS EFIN number. That's a EFIN number. You have to have that number for every location that you're actually going to do taxes out of. Okay, so that's an IRS EFIN number, electronic filing identification number. Okay, that's what that stands for. There's an application on irs.gov that you have to fill out for that. The other thing that you have to have is a PTIN number. A PTIN is a practitioner tax preparer identification number. You have to have that. There's another application on irs.gov. Okay, let's see. Now, there is another number a lot of people do not know that they need. I know you need this because I have clients that I do tax resolution for. If you're going to do taxes, if you're going to be versed in what you're doing, you need a CAF number. That's a CAF number. There is a application for that. Okay. All of this stuff you can do on irs.gov. Okay. I already talked about the executive suite and the location. I think that's it. We done. You got your tax office. Voila. And the money we was out of was less than $1,000. Less than $1,000. And you got a tax business, guys. But do not go into the tax business after the money. Go into the tax business for the benefit of your customers. So you're going to be educating yourself now if you're interested in doing taxes in the next tax season. Go into irs.gov. They have physical classes out there that you can teach yourself about taxes, okay? You have YouTube, you have Google, you can teach yourself. Anything you want to do, you can teach yourself. The education is out there. The tools are out there. The knowledge is out there just sitting, waiting for you to come and get it. And do what? Start your own business. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Stimulus packet. Did I talk about that? I did. Okay, stimulus packet. They are still talking about it from the White House to the Senate. So president is talking about we need one. People in the Senate is still talking about we need one. You know, we talking about we need one. So they are going to put it back on the agenda. They will be going out for vacation on July the 4th and will be out until July the 20th. And so from the 20th, I think, to August the 7th or somewhere like that, it will be on the agenda. So we're not looking for anything to come from the stimulus information until the end of July, guys. And I think I kind of mentioned that to you. Do I have any questions? Let's see. What's the benefit of having and adding additional owners to the company, shareholders? Okay. That's my daughter. Owners to the company, shareholders. Okay. The benefit is, number one, if you have shareholders, that means that you're going to be able to call it a S corporation. You have some people lined up. Oh. Okay, you can add, you can classify yourself as an S corporation. That means that you can actually pay yourself on a W-2 is number one. Number two, you can actually draw money from the company on distributions, which in a S corporation, you have what is a pass-through entity, which pass through to your 1040 tax return, which is a K1. So once you finish that business tax return, you're going to have it pass through to your individual return. So in the company, you can pay yourself on a W-2 and pay the payroll taxes, let's say $30,000, okay? But you can pull out of the company approximately about $30,000 as distributions that you won't pay taxes on. So that's one of the loopholes that you can receive for having an S corporation and more than one person on the LLC. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I don't think I see any other questions. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all for coming in and listening to Ms. Jackson. Let me know what type of business you want to start. Let me see if I can help you. Okay. Amanda Moore, what about unemployment? Did I miss that? No, I did not say anything about unemployment, Ms. Moore. Far as I know, that's going to be on the table at the end of July when they actually start talking about the stimulus package again. Right now, we have no information on that. Okay. All right, guys, I am done for today. I have been on here a pretty good while today, a little bit over 30 minutes this time. But I want you guys to consider starting your own business. Shop Black owned businesses, okay? Need to have a voice. We can protest. We can walk all day. We can vote. And also vote. We're going to put all of these together so we can get some change, okay? I think voter registration ends on Monday. So if you haven't registered to vote, go and do your registration. I believe you can register online. So make sure you do that and pass that word on. Okay. All right. May God bless you. You pray for me and I will pray for you. And you all be encouraged. I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.